Hey guys, it's Sharon here, and I am doing a video today that features a haul from Amazon. I have some journals and a couple of fountain pens. Now, if this looks a little familiar, it probably is because I had done this video yesterday, and my dog is playing with his little squeaky. I had done this video yesterday, and after watching it and uploading it, I realized I had a couple of inaccuracies, and I don't like doing that because when I give information, I like it to be accurate because I don't like to lead people down the wrong path. So I wanted to I took down the original video, just so you guys know if you've seen that one already. It has been taken down, and I am redoing this. And so it's not going to be fresh out of the packaging, but we're going to go ahead and try to muddle through as best we can, and hopefully it'll be a better video this time out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around, and we will go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so here we go. Now this first selection is the Spirit of Flight Journal, and this is done by Josephine Wall. I believe this is who the artist is. Now, this is a pretty popular one. A lot of the journaling YouTubers have this one, and I've seen this quite a bit. I believe this is Peter Popper Press. Here's what it looks like on the back, like so. This is the inside covers. Now, this is the biggest one that I got so far. That's what it looks like on the inside, and then here is the there is what it looks like on the back, same thing. And then this is the paper. I don't know how many sheets there are in here, but there's quite a bit. It's a pretty thick journal. Now the paper in here seems to be quite a bit thinner than what I'm used to with Peter Popper Press. This just isn't, I've had better paper in some of my other Peter Popper Press, and I don't know if this is going to take the fountain pen real well, but we will see once I get to it. It has faint lines on it. And yeah, so I'll be looking forward to using that. That's really pretty. Now there is the next size down. Oh, I'll show you just how thick this is. That's how thick that is right there. The next size down is the medium size one, and this is called the Crystal of Enchantment. And I believe that the same artist has done this one as well. I believe this is also done by Josephine Wall. And this is Peter Popper Press again. It has an elastic enclosure, and I'll just kind of give you a size comparison between the two like that. So it's a bit smaller, and this is what the inside of it looks like. Very pretty. And then same thing on the back. Now this has a little pocket in the back, and this pocket seems like it's a little flimsy. It's just a paper pocket, so you have to be really careful with this one because I imagine if you try to stuff it too full, it would rip. And again, this is lined paper. It's got some faint lines. And again, this paper just seems like it's a little thinner than a lot of my other Peter Popper Press journals. So I'll have to see just how well this is going to hold up to my fountain pen ink. But it's very pretty. That is the Crystal of Enchantment. And then this one here is the Moon Goddess, and this one is the smallest one. Again, I'll give you a size comparison. The Spirit of Flight Journal is the biggest one. This is the Crystal of Enchantment one, and then this is the Moon Goddess. So this would be a good portable journal to take with you. I really like this one. This is actually, I think, my favorite one. Again, I think this is Josephine Wall, who is the artist on this one. And again, Peter Popper Press. Very pretty on the back as well. Elastic enclosure. That's what it looks like on the inside. Same thing on the back. And again, we have a pocket, which is kind of flimsy, so you have to be careful with it. Again, we have lined pages. It's got some faint lines. And again, kind of thinner, rougher paper. So, again, time will tell to see how well this will hold up to fountain pen ink. Okay, so those are all the journals, and next I will show you the fountain pens I got. Okay guys, before I get into the pens, I actually wanted to give you some sizes on these journals. Now this big one, the Spirit of Flight, is 7 by almost 9 inches. This one here is a 6 by 8, and that's in inches. And then this one here is 5 by almost 7 inches. So that will give you an idea of how big these are if you go looking for journals. All right, let's go ahead and get into the pens. Okay guys, so the pens I got are the TWSBI VAC 700 and the TWSBI VAC 700 Mini. And when you get them, they come in brown cardboard boxes, which I don't have anymore because those went into our recycle box. But they're really nothing home to write home about. They're just plain old brown cardboard boxes. But when you open them up, you get a clear packaging like this, and that's where the pen is. Now, I started to open it. It's Scotch taped shut, but I went ahead and took that off. Now, as you can probably tell, this pen is inked up because, again, this is my second take on doing this video, and I did play with this pen. Now, it has little plastic holders that hold this in place like so, and I went ahead and took them off. It also comes with some paperwork that tells you more about their pens and the instructions on how to fill it and so forth and so on. So, again, this is the regular size one. Now, normally this is a clear-bodied pen, but as I said, it's inked up, and I got about, I'd say about half a fill on it. I did play with this quite a bit. I wrote probably about half of the ink supply down in it because I kid you not, I mean, I can go through a full pen in no time flat. But it's pretty cool because you can kind of see the ink sloshing around. That's what's cool about the clear demonstrators. And I don't have a weight on this, especially inked up, but I measured this, and this is about, it's about 5.5 inches long. And I don't have a diameter measurement. Now the Mini comes in the same way, and I'm not going to, I've already went ahead and unboxed it. And again, it's full of ink. It looks the same, except it's smaller. And again, I've written a pretty good amount of this ink down, but you can see it sloshing around. Exactly like the regular size VAC, but just smaller. And then the measurements with it capped and everything, it's about 4 3/4 inches long. So a couple of inches shorter than this. And here is what they look like side by side. Now, one thing that's cool about TWSBI is they give you a couple of extras, which is actually very, very nice. So if you take off this white part, which is where the pen was, you lift it up. We'll move the bottom portion out of the way. Turn it over. And what's really cool about TWSBI is they make it very, very easy to take apart the whole pen, the whole shebang, and give it a thorough cleaning. So in here, you get a little wrench. And this makes it easy to put it in there and unscrew everything and put it back together. And then in this baggie, I'll move this out of the way. So, love these extra pen parts. And then in this little baggie is a little container of silicone grease. And this helps when you're putting things back together and taking it apart, because you would actually grease up this plunger, and I'll talk about the filling mechanism in a minute. You would actually grease up this plunger so that things can run smoothly, and if your threads or your O-rings are tight, you know, if they're not moving very well, you can grease those up a little bit too. So this silicone grease comes in handy. Now to fill this thing up, this is why they call it the VAC, because it is a vacuum filler. It has a screw cap, so you just give it a couple little turns. And I'm not going to pull it out, because if I do that, I'm going to squirt ink everywhere, and that would not be a cool thing. But basically, there's a little knob that you loosen up, and then there's a plunger that pulls out. So you'd pull it out. You would submerge the ink into your bottle of, or submerge the nib into your bottle of ink. Yeah, submerge your ink into the ink, right. So you submerge the nib into the ink, then you pull down on that plunger, and it fills up the, it brings it up and fills up the pen. And it goes, it creates a vacuum, and it pulls it up around that piston and so forth. Now, what were you saying? I got my husband here. What were you saying about it? It doesn't go behind the piston?
piston goes all the way down. The inside diameter is larger, allowing ink to go up and get sucked up by the vacuum above the piston.
So there we have it. My husband, who is an engineer by trade, explains these things very well. So it's kind of nice that I have him listening to me, because he can say, "Dear, you're wrong. You need to explain this better." So I just had him talk. So that's my husband, John. So as you can probably tell, we're both into fountain pens. We're both enthusiasts and collectors. I have a good mix of modern and vintage, and he has a lot of vintage and that. But he actually thinks these little TWSBIs are cute and pretty cool. I gotta say that. So, again, this is what the TWSBIs look like. Now we'll go ahead and do some writing samples. And I have these inked up with, I believe my big one is inked up with Diamine Soft Mint, and then the mini is inked up with Aqua Lagoon, I believe. Diamine Aqua Lagoon. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our little Rhodia pad out here. Now I am using a Rhodia top wire bound, as we can see. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you guys before we actually get into the writing sample is these are screw caps. Now, to post a pen, you will hear a lot of fountain pen enthusiasts talk about posting a pen. So basically how you do that is you take the cap off, and you would put the cap onto the back, and you would write with it like so. Like so. So, now the mini is a little different in this area. Now the back, the regular size one, you just push it onto the back, but the mini, when you post it, the mini actually screws on. Look at that. And then your cap just isn't going anywhere. So this is what it looks like posted and ready to write. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our writing samples. Okay, this is a TWSBI, and I think I misspelled TWSBI. Vac. Okay, TWSBI Vac 700 Mini. And again, I'm not used to writing through a camera screen, so my handwriting is kind of sloppy anyway, but it's going to be even sloppier in this, so please pardon me. And this is filled with Diamine. What did I say? Aqua Lagoon. Aqua Lagoon. And we're going to go ahead and write the quick brown fox jumps. That's bad. Jumps over the... This is not easy, guys. Lazy dog. And the reason I am writing this phrase is because it uses all the letters in the alphabet. Now, I have these pens both in the medium nib. You can get these in fine, medium, broad, I believe, and stub nibs. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the big one. Okay, so this is the TWSBI. And you want to make sure you have your nib facing the right way, because otherwise it's not going to write real well. And I tend to roll my pen. Okay, so this is a TWSBI. Oof. My poor handwriting through this camera screen. TWSBI Vac 700. And I believe this has Diamine Soft Mint. Ugh. This handwriting is just hideous doing this way. I kid you not. Okay. And again, you want to watch your nib. Okay, and I tend to kind of grip it toward the end of the pen right there, near the bottom of it. Some people can hold it farther up like that. Sometimes I do. It just kind of depends. Okay, so the quick brown. Ugh. I just cringe when I look at this handwriting. Huh. Jumps. And I'm not even writing on the lines, you guys. Over, man. The lazy dog. All right. Anyway, this is what it looks like. Now, some folks that do this have a really, really nice setup where they have the overhead camera. I just have it sort of hanging over the paper like this, and it's not the best angle to write with. So please pardon the handwriting and just pardon the sloppiness, but you kind of get the idea. But these write really nice. They are so smooth, and these nibs are just really, really smooth. Now I have the TWSBI 580, which is another pen. It also is a clear demonstrator and so forth, but it has a different filling mechanism. It's a piston filler. And I have those in the fine nib, and those also write really, really nice. These are pretty inexpensive pens. I believe they run, I got them at Amazon, as I said, for, I think they were about 65 bucks a piece. So these are relatively inexpensive. If you're looking for a next step up from a Lamy Safari or a Pilot Metropolitan, this would be really good. These are just really, really low maintenance, nice pens, just very, very nice pens to work with. So that is my Amazon haul and a little look at the TWSBI VAC 700 and the TWSBI VAC 700 Mini. So hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to see more like this, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye guys!